Today let's talk about how we can do lightning analysis in Revit for solar studies. So basically the first step is to install the Insight plugin, but it took me quite some time to figure out how I can actually install it. So you should go to your Manage Autodesk account, log in and find your products and services. And here if you have Architecture, Engineering, Construction collection, AAC collection, you should have it included in the price. And if you try to find here Insight, lightning analysis for Revit, you can see that there will be some access and it will get you to a different, but you will not be able to actually install it from there. So what you need to do is to find the Revit instead and go here into the view details, find your version, and under extensions you will find the where it is, lightning analysis for Revit. And from here you should download the exe file, install it, and then you will have the plugin installed in your Revit application. So if I go into my Revit now, I am now in my Revit 2024 project. You can see here in my Analyze tab, I have a new energy analysis, and here I can see my lightning. So what happens if I press it? You will see here in the project browser, I will get some new views, which will be specific for the lightning analysis. So if I run it for the first time, you can see I have some pretty basic example for this. So I press hit. You can see that I should first save it because it will be sending the views to the cloud to render them. Okay, so I will save my project somewhere. Let's go on the desktop for super quick. And you will see something like this, but this is not what I want to talk about now. So I will just close it, but what I want to talk about now is here you can see in 3D views, I get a new view which is called Insight Lightning Model View created. And basically what this tells me is that when I'm doing any lightning calculations in Revit, by using this plugin, by using the Insight tool, it will be always creating the geometry and getting all of the information and definitions from this model view. So basically what I will have here visible in this view will affect what will be calculated in the calculations later. Okay, now let's talk about some settings we have here. If we hit the lightning, you can see the lightning analysis in the cloud. And here we have some gear button where we can find some light analysis settings. Basically, most of these which is here is explained in the PDF file, which I will get the link for you to actually read because there are a lot of useful information. So I will not be talking about many of these things here now, but these two at the end are important for us if we want to store raw results file or create a CSV point the results. We could check it here and it will be stored into our Autodesk Revit Day Lightning file or folder on our computer. So I will go with my cancel. So now I'm in my lightning analysis in the cloud. So you can see something like this. I will go with go. And now you can see that the project location uses default weather station. So I should either change this or use it. So I will go and change it. And the way we can change this is in the manage project location. And here in the location, we can look for our town. So I will go with Prague. Okay, and now I can choose where the stations from the Prague. So I will go with this one. Hit OK. And now we have set our location, our project location, which will be used in the calculations for the energy analysis in the inside. So now if I go back into my Lightning and I go to run new analysis, now you can see that I get a page with settings like this. Here you can choose different types of presets: illuminance analysis, daylight factor, daylight autonomy, some leads, and solar access. For me, what is important is the daylight factor, or I will leave the illuminance analysis for now, because then you can see this location, which I have said before, is now here. And I can choose the daytime and some sky models when I click on these three buttons here. So sky model, I have some Paris all-weather sky, CE or daylight factor sky, and then some daytime or use weather files and so on and so forth. All of these, also the sky models, is greatly explained in the PDF file, so I will not be talking about this in detail. You can read it for yourself. And here you have some illuminance settings for the thresholds, analysis plane height, which you can set. Unfortunately, this doesn't take into account because we are working in metric system, so inches are not good for us, but I cannot actually put here exact numbers. I mean, with the, let's say if I go like 32.2, it will not be taken into account. It will be like 32 or 33. So I will go with my daylight factor. I will leave this like it is. Analysis plane height, I will go with 33 inches above the floor. And then there is some resolution and some cloud credits. Here you can see the required credits. It will be always calculated based on the project and your available cloud credits. So when it comes to price, what I was able to find in the PDF file is this: that the cloud credit pricing is like 72-inch grid or 12-inch grid should be free up to 25,000 square feet or 2,300 square meters for the lead and different access. But this PDF file is quite old, so there is actually no daylight factor or other things. But basically what this means is that if you are running your analysis on smaller areas, it is free. If you are running it on higher areas, it is then being calculated by the cost. But you will always see the price here. If you go with the check price, it will get you the price. The resolution here is only 12-inch or 72-inch grid, and you cannot choose a different one. Then you have your levels to be included in the calculation. Here we can choose only the level 1. So only the level 1 will be now run for my calculation. So if I go with my check price, you can see I got 0 credits required. So it is for free for me. So I can just hit my start analysis and just let it do its magic. Now you can see that my model is uploading, and I should not close it until it is uploaded. Hit OK. And now it will be run in or run on the cloud in the background. You can see actually if you hit the lightning here that the jobs are being calculated. In this example, it looks like it was quite quick. So I get something like this. The daylight factor ran was completed. These are the cloud credits, so I will accept, update, and save my project. Okay, so this way I was able to run the analysis on the cloud and get the results, but I do not see anything in my project. And that is because I need to now load these results to be able to see them. So I need to go to my Lightning, Analysis. Now I will select my analysis, which is this one, daylight factor. You can see the date and time. You can actually when you select it, here by clicking on this button, you can rename it or just delete it. I will leave it like it is. And now if I hit go, it will generate results for me in my project. You can see generate results. So I will hit go. Okay, you can see that I have no rooms, so I cannot actually create a floor plan for my lightning analysis, but I will leave this closed. And there is some results. And what you can see in here in my 3D view now is my lightning analysis results from the cloud. So you can see it looks something like this. So this is what I get, and this is in the percentage. Okay, now let's take a look on how we can actually modify the view of these results. So if I go and check this, here in the 3D view, I have some settings for the analysis display. And here you can see my daylight factor results. So these are my daylight factor results which were loaded into this view. Now this default analysis display style is this thing, which is telling me how is this being visible or how it is projected or how it looks like in my floor plan. Or not in this example, not floor plan, but 3D view. But basically these colors are defined by this default analysis display style. If I want to change it, I will just go here and you can see now some presets. I have my lightning analysis daylight factor style. In the settings you can see, okay, let's go one by one. Here if I go with the show contour, it should be showing the contour around, which we actually cannot see in this view, I think. But if I will hide these walls, here on the edge, if I go with my thin lines, my lightning analysis, show contour, you can see now this is the contour. If I go with my show grid lines, you can see my grid lines from which it was calculated. So this is just 12-inch grid line. Here I can set some transparency to be able to see through this. So you can see now I can actually see the floor below, and this alignment and color is for the contours and grid lines. Next, there is a color. I can go with my defined values, my predefined. I can choose them. I can add here some values and define colors, or I can use a gradient tool. It looks something like this now. So it is more fluent. I will go back to ranges, and then there is a legend, which is basically the formatting of this thing, where I can go show or hide the legend, some text appearance, body, rounding for decimal places, and other different settings. So basically these are some presets which are here loaded automatically. And you can see there is a lot of them. There is lightning analysis daylight factor style points, some different ones, lead, and so on and so forth. I will be showing you only the two of them, the lightning analysis daylight factor style, which is this one, which is telling you like which portion of the view is with what daylight factor. Or the other one, which is important for me, is this one, which is using the points. So basically this one is telling me that it will not be like this, like a area, but it will be actually the points. So if I go with my OK, you can see now this is represented as points. And I can go and set my points to be different, to be, let's say, square or triangle. Let's see, you can see now these are triangles. Here I have my size. I will go with my circle. And what is important is this one. some decimal places, some rounding, and here to show labels on markers. Basically, this is telling me that it will show my values that were calculated in these points. So if I go with my apply, okay, you can see something like this. If I change my scale to be, let's say, 1 to 20, now you can see it better. And I will go and change my rounding to be 2 decimal places. Hit OK. Make this probably even smaller to see it better. And now you can see that in those points, my daylight factor is 0.18, 0.07, 0.18, 0.65, and so on and so forth. So this way you can change the visual representation of your results in your project. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about how these results are actually being calculated in the project. I will go back in my daylight factor style. So basically, as I said before, what is visible in my inside lightning model view is being taken into account. And this is really important to know, because if I now go and let's go with hiding this floor, even if I hide it like temporarily, you will see what it will do to my results. So I will go, select my level 1, we'll go with the daylight factor, 12-inch grid, run the analysis. So now basically, because I have hidden it, so I do not see it, it will not be taken into account for the analysis. So it will run the analysis as if there was no roof in this example. So we will see what it will do. And basically it works this way. Okay, accept, update. Okay. Now I need to go and load these results. So these are my second results. You can see 13:33. The time. Hit go. Okay, no rooms. And now we can see that all of it is almost 100, and that is because now it is being calculated without the roof. So basically, what you see in this 3D view is what it will taken into calculation. So if you hide something with the temporary height, or with the visibility graphics, or with a section box and other things, it will not be taken into account into calculation. The next really important thing to know is that if I now take a look on this analysis grid and these analysis results, the way it works and how it calculates is that it will actually create analysis planes from the floor elements that are on some levels. So if I'm here and I'm going with my run analysis, and here I am choosing my levels. So let's go with our level 1. So it will take all of the floors that are on the level 1, and it will use these floors to calculate my analysis planes. So therefore, in order for analysis planes to be produced in a model, there must be some floors present in the model and visible in this view. So what this means is that if I now want to run my analysis from the level 2, let's go back and change this not to be on the level 2, but let's go with the level 1 with an offset, let's say 2800. So now if I want to run my analysis, let's go with the daylight factor. You can see that there is actually no level 2 because there is no floor present on the level 2 in here. So if there are no floors on the level, you will not be able to run analysis on this level. So if I go back now and undo these changes, you can see I have a floor on the level 2. So if I go into my run new analysis dialog, I can now choose my level 2 to be included in the analysis. Okay, next. Let's create a new floor here, like this one. Okay. I will leave it like this. And now, because I have one floor here, another one here, both are on the level 1. So if I now run my analysis from the level 1, these two floors will be used to create analysis planes, and the analysis will be calculated on those planes. So basically, the most important part of the geometry for these calculations is these floors. And if you take a look in here, and if I would measure this, let's go like here. From here until my analysis plane, it should be this 33 inches, which I cannot get now really well, but I will try to get as close as possible. Okay, you can see it's 800 something. So basically this distance, if I will measure it from like the top of my floor until my plane, this is 33 inch, which is this setting here. If I go and set it here, this one. So if I put here, let's say 5 for now, you will see the difference in here. So I will go and restore. So now I will run the analysis with two floors on the level 1. So these two floors, this one and this one, will be used to create analysis planes. And I will set the offset to be not 33, but 5 inches. So this analysis plane will be calculated 5 inches from the top face of the floor. So let's do this. Let's go. And let's go level 1. I will go again daylight factor. And let's go here 5. We will check the price. And hit start. It is uploading. Okay, now if we check here, you can see that I have my 0 from 2 jobs complete. And now these 2 jobs are there because I have my 2 floors. So this is like job 1 and this is job 2 for the analysis. Okay. The analysis is done. Let's just now generate results. Hit go. I will close this warning and close this result summary. And now you can see that my analysis planes were created from this floor and this floor as well. So basically you can see that this is the way how I am defining where I want my analysis to be run. Okay, so let's go with the next example that I have many rooms and many floors, and I don't want all of my floors to be used for the analysis. So I don't want my analysis planes to be calculated, let's say, from this floor. So what can I do? If I read the PDF file, it is telling me that the things that are not visible in my 3D view, which is the inside lightning model view, they will not be taken into account. So if I hide this, it should not be taken into account. But actually what I have found is that hiding with the temporary hide isolate mode, or by like hiding from the visibility in graphics or using the filters or anything else, doesn't work. It will still be calculated in the lightning analysis. So let's go like this. I will move it. I will just turn off the visibility of those floors. I will run my lightning analysis from the level 1, daylight factor. So even though I do not have them visible in this view, because I have turned them off from the visibility in graphics, they will still be included in the calculation, and the analysis planes will be created like here will be one, because there is my hidden floor, and there will be another one. Okay. Now I need to generate my results. I will close this. And as you can see, these analysis planes were created here, even though I do not see my floor in my view. So what I have found as the only way how to actually hide a floor in a view, so it will not be taken into account for the calculation, is to hide it permanently. So by right clicking and hide in view elements, or by EH shortcut. If I go and run this analysis now, with my floor like permanently hidden in my view, it will not be now used for the analysis planes to be calculated from it. And this way is the only way I can hide a floor from the analysis. Okay, it is done. I will generate my results. I will close this. And now you can see that I was able to remove this floor from the calculation or from the analysis, only because I was able to hide it permanently from the view. Okay, then there is a next trick, how I can create a lightning analysis only on the portion. So let's imagine that I would have like 4 floors here, or I don't know, 20 rooms, and I want to create analysis only in this room. So basically what I can do is to create a new level. Let's go like this. This will be my analysis level, my helping level. I will create a new floor. Let's go with some smaller floor to be able to see it like this, which will be on my analysis level. So if I go into my 3D view, it looks like this. And now, because I have created a floor on a new level, I can select only this level and only this one floor to be included in the calculation. So I will go run new analysis. I will choose my new level, my analysis level. Go with the daylight factor. Check the price. Start analysis. So this is the trick how you can run analysis on smaller portion of your model, let's say only in one room. For example, if you need to check the settings, if everything is running correctly. So you can just create a new level, some helping level, put a floor on this level and run the analysis on this level. So if I now load my new result, you can see that I was able to create only a portion from this one helping level. So I will go back and delete this. And now let's talk about how you can actually create a floor plan for the lightning analysis. For this to be able to generate a floor plan as well, you need to have some rooms in your project. So because I did not have any rooms in my project, I did not get any floor plan for the lightning analysis. But if I now go and get my room in here. And I run this again. Let's go with my analyze, lightning, run new. Go with the daylight vector from the level 1. Okay, it is done. So if I now load my new results with the room, here you will see that I will have a new floor plan generated. And I will not get an error again. These are my results. And here you can see Inside Lightning level 1 floor plan. If I go into my Inside Lightning level 1 floor plan, this one was created from my room. Okay, so I should probably change this a bit. And I will run it on my 33 inches above from the level 1 daylight vector 12-inch grid. And as you can see, this analysis is quite fast. Actually, what I was reading is that they tell that the analysis on the cloud is really fast. The only thing that is getting a time is actually the wait queue for these analysis results. Okay. And I will generate my results now. Okay, now it looks better. So if I go into my floor plan, you can see my analysis results. So as well, here I can change my default analysis display. I will go with my points view. And let's go with 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. Okay, so now you can see the values here, how they were calculated. Okay, now there is a good thing with rooms and with those analysis results. I will show it with this style. And that is, let's say, I will go with my grid lines turned off. And let's say that I want to have my results only on the part of the room. Let's say I want to exclude the half meter that is next to my walls from the calculation. So how can I do this is by using the room separator. And let's go 500 like this. So I will actually make my room smaller. As you can see now, this room is smaller than it was before. So if I go back, you can see, okay, I will need to turn this on. You can see now my room is like this. If I will make my room smaller, it will generate the results only on the extents of this room. So, as I said before, if I go with my room separator, like this, so I have made my room smaller. And good thing about this is that I do not need to actually recalculate the result because the results are being calculated from the floor. But what I need to do is only to regenerate the results. So I will go and generate the results again. Okay. And now you can see that my results for this room are being regenerated. And you can see that the parts which are like next to my walls are not being taken into account. Now we will be able to see also the difference from like between the 3D view and the floor plan, because in the 3D view you can see my results are like visible on this all analysis plane, which was being calculated by the extents of my floor. But in my floor plan, you can see the analysis only on the part which is being defined by the extents of the room. So if I will make this even smaller, and I go to recalculate my results, or regenerate, not recalculate, go, and you can see it looks like this. Good thing to know here, to notice, is this thing here, which is telling me that if I have my stair here, these are the results that I'm seeing now in my view. And if I want to generate others, I need to choose from the menu. But the ones with the stair in here are the ones I am seeing now. So let's go cancel. And this is the way how you can make your results on your room smaller. You can like create more rooms and generate the results for those rooms. Okay, now with the analysis, we have also some schedules being created. You can see the Inside Lighting floor schedule and Inside Lighting room schedule. Here, if I open my Inside Lighting room schedule, you can see some settings and some results which were calculated automatically for me from those presets. And now let's talk about these results, what they mean. So if I go here and let's go to our Analyze Lighting. So if I go to my Run New Analysis, and let's go with Daylight Factor, you can see I have illuminance settings here. These things. Analysis plane height I was talking about before, but here we have some threshold, some lower threshold and upper threshold. And these two thresholds, as you can see here, are used for results in room and floor schedules. So basically, my lower threshold and my upper threshold will be used in those schedules. So you can see I have my 2 and 20% here now being set, and I had it also before. And in my lighting room schedule now you can see that 28% of the points which were calculated by this analysis, in this example here, if I go, let's go to our point view, and I will go only with the points. So 28% of these points in this room are between my threshold, which is 2 to 20%. And here you can see my results that within the thresholds there is 28%, which is 10 meters squared of the area. Above threshold there is no, and below threshold there is 72% or 26 meters squared. And my average daylight factor is 1.4% from all of those points. Here basically, if you have more rooms in your project and you do not want to include them in the daylighting, you can check it here, including daylight, and it will not be included. But basically this means that it will not create this room schedule for them and nothing else. So if I will change this, let's go now run the analysis again. Okay, not like this, but with all of my geometry. I will run the analysis again. Again, the daylight factor on the level 1. And let's change this to be, let's go 2 to 5. And we will go 33 inches above. Check the price. Start the analysis. Okay. Hit accept and save. Now I will generate my new results. Okay. I will close this. And now you can see in my schedule that 18% of the points are between 2 to 5. And that above threshold I have 3%, which is 1 meters, below threshold 79%. So basically what this tells you that when I changed the values in the threshold is reflected in this schedule. Okay, now let's recap a bit. So the analysis is being created and generated from the model geometry that is visible in this 3D view, which is inside Lightning model view, and not anything else. If I am hiding my geometry, even with my like temporary hide isolate mode or any other with the filters or visibility graphics and so on and so forth, it will not be taken into account in the analysis. My analysis planes are being calculated from my floor elements, but the only way how to hide a floor element to be not included in the generation of the analysis plane is to hide it permanently in the view. Then when we have already run the analysis, I need to generate the results again to be able to see them. I can play with my default analysis display to have some different visual representation of the results. Then to be able to make a calculation only on the portion of the model, I should create a separate helping level and create a floor only on this level and include this level and this floor in the calculation. So this is a trick how to do it. Then if I do not see my floor plan being created for the Lightning, it means that I have no room associated on this level or on the level from which I am using or doing the analysis. If I want to calculate only portion of the room, it always takes into account the extents of the room. So I can make it smaller with my room separation. And I can see my results in my schedules if I am using the right presets, which are which I can actually use. And now we will talk about the last thing, and these are materials, how you can define materials for the Lightning analysis. So it will have the right reflectance and transmittance and so on and so forth. So first of all, they have huge article, and because they have made some changes, and we can see it here, that the reflectance definition for opaque materials has not changed and is defined as an RGB value divided by 255. So for example, this settings defines opaque reflectance of 50% because it is 127 divided by 255. So if we go back to our model and I go into my wall and I go into my structure, I need to set material here. So we will go and let's create a new one, duplicate, and let's go with our default Lightning analysis. And here the most important thing to notice is that for the Lightning analysis, this engine or this inside Lightning analysis is using the appearance tab and the appearance assets of the definition of the material. So it doesn't matter what is written like in those different settings, or let's say here in the analytical properties for the type of wall, because it gets the values from the material definition and from the appearance asset of the material definition. And here we have reflectivity and so on and so forth. These are also being ignored, and the most important one in these opaque materials is the color, because the color is used to define the reflectance. So if I put here 127, 127, this way, by the RGB value, I was able to calculate the reflectance of this material to be 50%. So this way you can set your opaque materials in your project. And then for the glass material, they say that they have new appearance assets for these glass materials and you should just change them. So you can again read about this later by yourself, but basically what this means is that if I go here into my family and I will check my glass pane material is glass, and I need to modify this glass. So let's go and I will just duplicate material and asset, and let's go glass lightning analysis. And now I need to find my appearance asset and change it for the new one. I will go and replace this asset, and I will go into my asset browser, and here I need to find not my Autodesk physical assets but my appearance library. This is also strange because when I was like trying to find this glass in my Autodesk physical assets, I could not find it because it was these physical ones, but I need to find it in the appearance library because I need to define the appearance. So I will open this, I will find my glass materials, and basically here you can see something like this. There are some type of materials which have this small orange pink, which is telling you that this is the old definition of the material, and you should use now the material which doesn't have this pink in it. So it should be something like this, because this should tell you that this is the new type of material, and we need to use this new type of material in our lightning analysis in this version which is above 4. So I will go and try to find my clear glass, but you can see this is the old one. So I will go with my let's see what we have here. Clear. Yeah, this one. Let's choose our clear isolating. And I will replace this asset. Okay. So now you can see that I have my clear isolating glass here. And now the most important setting for the lightning analysis is this one, visible transmittance. You can see that now I get a value already here visible for me. And again, as they have it or had it before, this value is being calculated from the color. So if I change my RGB value, let's take a look on what it does for the visible transmittance. So I will change it like this. You can see it's different. The one bad thing is that I was not able to find any values or any table which would tell you that, okay, I want my visible transmittance to be 0 point something, that this equals to the color of something, something, something. Unfortunately, they do not have this. They have some calculations of how they do this, but you should play for yourself like the way how you can define this the easiest way. So basically, if you create a glass with this new type of material, you will see the visible transmittance being calculated already here. Hit OK, hit OK, and this way you can define your translucent materials as well as your opaque materials for the calculations. So it will be physically accurate and it will use the values which you need. So the most important for you to know is that it is being generated from the actual materials that are defined in the project, and that it is using the appearance tab, and it is always generating from the color. If it is opaque material, it is being calculated from the color by this definition, which can be found here. This reflectance is RGB divided by 255. And if it is a translucent material, this new type of glass, you should use for the appearance new type of asset, which can be found in the appearance library under the glass, and it should be without this orange thing in here, which is telling you that this is the old asset and the new asset is without this. And there you will see the visible transmittance already written in here. So I was playing with this quite a lot, but I will leave on you to play with it even more, because there are more settings to like get to know, but I will give you all of the relevant materials which I was able to find in the description, like the links. So you should study them and represent the results for yourself. So enjoy.